Hello everybody, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to take starter bases that are normally in the overworld, not in snowy areas, and turn them into snowy ones. So let's get going. So step one of doing this is finding a good area. You want something that is flat but not too barren. This is the spot I'm going to be using today. And I'm going to be going with some inspiration for today's video. If I fly over here, you'll see this very nice village. Now, I did not create this in the slightest. This was made by a mod I have. And it just makes villages overhauled. This was just because when I play Minecraft, I like my villages to look nice, not ugly. This just made that happen in real life. So I'm going to be using block designs and ideas from this village to create these really nice buildings. Anyways, getting back to our area we were at, we're going to be building a pretty basic starting house here. Using mostly spruce. That's what you can find in snowy biomes. Spruce. So let's start by making an outline. Now, this is what you think is just gonna be you build your own house. No, you're doing a tutorial. So, here's what we're doing. I'm gonna be using red wool for this, as this allows me to map out my house for you guys and for me. This also allows you to pause the video at any point if you ever need to see what's going on. Now that is perfectly fine if you need to stop. Even when I do these tutorials myself, am constantly pausing the video. But that's kind of small when you look at it. So you're probably like, why is it that small? You're gonna see. Because I don't like basic houses. Oh my goodness, sorry. I don't like basic houses. They kind of scream, I don't care, and I just built this because I can. That's kind of, if you do that, that's okay. I'm not judging you at all. No judgment. I just think they're ugly. So what we're going to be doing is just going to map out my layout. And now would be a good time to pause so you can take a look at what I've mapped out here. Crap, I did something wrong. My bad. Yeah, and if you're wondering if these are scripted, no, I just do these off my head. So here is the basic layout. Next step, I'm gonna take some logs and go 4 up. All the corners. Except in the front, no, I'm kidding. Doing it in all the corners. I don't know why, but my mouse seemingly hates me for no good reason. I don't know why. It's silly. Someone explain. So, this part in the front is optional. Now, for my build, I'm not going to include it, but for yours, go right ahead. So, here's what my front door is going to look like. Something kind of like this. I don't like those protruding front doors. They look kind of silly. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering, I don't do sponsorships. I don't. Honestly, right now, I'm kind of a small creator, and if you see my video, well, hello. Maybe you can consider subscribing while you're at it. Helps me out quite a lot. I don't really have many people who watch my channel, so the more subscribers I have, the more people who will see this video and will get some help. If you're wondering, yes, I will put someone who has way better videos down in the comments, like down in the description for you guys. If you want some actually really nice building tutorials that don't look like made by someone silly. But let's go on to the next part. So now we're at the next part. This is where we're going to be making some interesting additions to this world. More or less, I just mean the base shape. So this is a pretty good shaped house, you may think. Yeah, it is, but we need to get the full layout done before we start thinking about anything else, like interior walls, or literally anything else we can't do. Whoa. So the reason I'm adding a pillar out here is I plan on adding something kind of cool, actually. This is something I thought of forever. Is that, whoa, is that if I build a checker pattern, it would look really cool. And so today's the day I'm gonna do it. I never thought I would actually do it in a YouTube video, of all places, but you know what? The weirdest things happen on YouTube. So, you're welcome. There, look at that. Now it's a nice, like, checker pattern. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering, I'll have all the mods I used and resource packs I used in the description for everybody. So, I'm gonna now think about last floor. So I don't want to add any floors, but honestly I'm starting to think I should. But for the roof, go a little weird. And checker pattern. Seems a little odd, think about it, but seeing how I did deck out of it, you probably weren't surprised. I was gonna do the inside walls. And you probably already seen the thumbnail. So, which, like most of these videos, is quite tiny. And honestly, not the greatest thumbnails in the world. YouTube has this stupid limit where it's like, sorry, but your thumbnail can only be 2 megabytes. Which is why the last one was cropped so awfully. Now we're going to do this floor down here. Now, I don't actually use this anymore, but I used to. It's called World Edit. Very good mod if you're a builder who does a lot of building in creative. I'll say, helped a ton when I could use it. Did not help a ton if I didn't need it. Didn't need it, I wasn't using it because it was, 1, waste of time, 2, took way too long to set up, and all in all 3 was just kinda hard to get the grips for. Now, if you did look at the cover of this video, or really, if you are just looking at the cover, you'll kind of be noticing the fact that we have this pen in the back. Can't check the cover now, but if you did pay attention, you would have noticed there's a pen in the back. No animals. That's because animals are gonna be here, under deck. As you would just see this kind of like fence area, but you wouldn't see any animals. That's not because it's gonna be empty. That's because it's gonna be full of bunny rabbits. Now that seems kind of cruel, but it's not. Anyways, The next step we need to do is add a spot for the staircase. This is the problem a lot of people run into when making houses. They don't think about the staircase. I said this in my last video. If you watched that video, if you didn't, you should watch it. But what I said is that most people don't remember the staircase, and then they get almost near the end, then they're like, shoot, I don't have a spot for my staircase and I've already decorated the house. That's why I recommend you always install your staircase as one of the first things you think about. That's because if you don't, you're gonna have a fun time later when you're thinking about where you can put this wonderful blocky staircase up to your second floor. Yeah. Not fun when you're realizing you have actually space. Yeah, not fun. I've had that happen to me before, and it's okay because I'm being creative and I just edit it. But if you're in survival, that is not a fun experience. So there, we got a staircase in, perfect. Next up, railings. Like in my last video when I made that deck, I used the fence gate and fence tactic. Looks super clean and is effective. Then I'm gonna do the bottom one now. So I'm gonna put down snow. Sadly, is what kind of logic is this? Okay, I don't know. I've never seen that before. Anyways, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did in the other one up top. They match that. I'm also going to take the fences and go 2 up so we can make a cool roof on this. So let's build that next. We're gonna need some trapdoors, some slabs, and some time. You're gonna need a lot of that. Start by making the slab your highest point, trapdoor the lowest, like this. Now, this is just a personal preference, but I like to have a slab, then a slab, then another slab. Yes, I know, slab's a little weird. And then before you make it up to that top one, do like this. That sudden, like, sharp curve creates a weird feel, and I don't know what it is about it. Something in that curve just screams nice. Did it. Not, dang it. And it also still allows you to look out on either side. Quite well, actually. Doesn't obstruct your view in a way that's great. And it connects quite nicely. So if you use a trapdoor, it's not going to look good. If you do use these slabs, looks pretty nice. I've already dragged this on for quite some time, but we're almost done. So next thing you'll want to add is probably what seems like the weirdest thing to add, but not the weirdest, is the walls. So let's get right to that. So for the walls I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using some spruce planks. One, they're the only plank around that we can actually use. And two, you can get them really quickly. Just chop down like 2 trees and you'll probably have this much. not actually, but like, it kind of feels like that when you go chopping. Now we're gonna do the kind of like village-inspired doors, where they're not linked. There are two separate doors. Now, this is the only reason I love this, personally, is the fact that I was able to put two doors here, along with the two here. The reason I think this is sick, and also I ended up putting two trapdoors here because, you know what, it looks sick. But what I think is the cool part is the fact that this will, once I get the stairs on this, for the roof, this is gonna be super cool. As with it like encased, you can put a stair up there, one down here. Now, it is not comfy in the slightest, and I will say that for sure, but if you want somewhere you can disappear, that's it. It's tucked away, no one will know about it. And even funnier, even it's actually there. Reason? Because it blends in. And like, look at that. That's a perfect way to finish the roof off. Like that. Yeah. And so when now you're in house, just chilling, you can head into this room where you're away from everything, and you could even put storage in here. I don't know if you want to, which is actually what I'm going to be doing with it today. I'm going to be putting barrels all along here. You can tell barrels block them in like every. Now, this is a starter base, so barrels are not cheap. If you want to put something else in, go ahead. I am not stopping you. I think they just look really nice in here. And not only that, they are actually really effective. They aren't ugly in a way, but they're also not pretty. In a good way. Well, in a bad way. Like, they're really pretty, but not in a bad way. Now, I'm using copper torches because they just look good. You don't actually have to use those. But, like, look at this. Nice green room. It's like pours. Because you open the door and you're on the balcony. And then you can re-enter. Now, this is why I didn't want to add a door on the inside, because that light would pour inside, and the vibe of the nicely lit rooms, well, entrance. It would totally ruin the vibe and immediately say no. And all of my starter builds, yeah, they're a little costly, but if you want a base that will last, this is the good way to do it. This base will last forever and ever. Like, I bet you'll make it to the point where you have netherite and you're still probably having this base lying around your world because it's gonna be that reliable. Now, in real life, I wouldn't actually trust this, but in a game, yeah, I trust this. This works. It's effective. It's not cheap in the slightest, no. But is it good? Yeah. Yeah. Is it? It's great. It's wonderful, actually. I have this in my own survival world as one of my bases. I did say earlier I was actually just going off whatever I could think of in my head, which is true. I was kind of doing that in my head. But also, look at this. This is not on purpose. This was just literally on accident. I just discovered this. Look at that. Look how perfectly that meshes with the rest of the build. on accident. Like, what do you think? I would do that, but it just looks a little off, that's all. I'll do it, and I'll see what I think. If I don't like it, I'll probably just revert it back, but yeah, it's perfect. Done. That's it. That's it now. That creates the kind of curve I wanted. Like, I love these overlapping roof designs. These are just sick. They're always cool. They never ruin any build. And, like, they're just perfect in every way possible. Because when they overlap with another section, that just creates that sense of feeling. That feeling inside of you that you're like, this is connected. And even cooler is when they actually do just connect. That is not on purpose, though, I will agree. That is on complete accident if you're building this. And, yeah. I am not someone who usually makes building tutorials because this is way, way out of my comfort zone. I'm usually the one who does redstone technical things. Not, I repeat, not typical builds. So if you're wondering, yes, a lot of these are either ones I've just built, or I have just thought up. That's a cool build. I'll record it so other people could build too. Not because I want to monetize my videos. It's because I think everybody should be able to see these, even if they are a little dumb. Everyone should be allowed to see everything that somebody does. Not like personal stuff in their life, but like things that are just in a silly block building game should be able to be seen. Everyone and everything should be able to see the kind of videos I make. And if you're a small content creator, hey, I wouldn't mind subscribing. Drop your handle in the bottom and I'll probably subscribe to you as soon as I can. Because, well, but the moment I get available, I will so subscribe to you the moment I can. So now that we're up here, I'm going to put the 2 first lanterns in either corner of the house. Now, we're going to take this lantern, head outside, one more. On the railing. Right there. Reason? Looks pretty. And also because I can't put it anywhere else. Well, I guess I can put it in that corner. So that corner works. There. Now, we're gonna head downstairs and finish up this base. Because I am starting to take a while to do this. And I am very sorry. Like, this was supposed to be a quick and easy tutorial. It's ended up becoming a full-length video. Not ideal. Besides, we haven't even done anything else. We haven't even added windows or anything. That's kind of silly and also kind of crazy, the fact that it's taken this long. Only. So yeah, there you go. Now we have all the things we need. So now comes the final pieces. Lanterns, and, well, the final piece of the puzzle. Sorry about that. I do live in this house. Not because I don't want to move out, it's like still doing school, so. whatever. Anyways, now we're gonna make the rest of things. So if you are following this guide, I recommend you do put the bed here. There is no other real good place to put your bed. To be brutally honest, I didn't really think about beds in the beginning, so. Now this is a design choice for me. I think it worked out really well. Instead of putting carpet down, I ended up just laying down some actual colored wool, which sold that effect even better. Now, obviously, I wasn't not going to put the carpet down. But I only did that right at the edge of the bed to make it feel like that was the more fluffy part of the mat. Now, this is something I want to do because my actual house, I wish I could do this. I wish I could have a desk middle of nowhere in like my room next to the bed. This, which is kind of how it is in real life. Not gonna lie, but the one in real life is actually true. Not great. So, yeah. Anyways, I think it's fine. Others may think opposite, but my eyes, I think it's pretty cute. Cute. And also to make the chair, most people just take a slab and then stick a thing on the back. I'm not doing that. I'm putting down an actual stair. And then to get that look I'm going for, now, this is not gonna be actually this. This is where some job blocks are gonna go. We're gonna use a photography and a loom. Seems a little weird, you may think, but honestly, looming stuff and photography things, you can replace these with whatever blocks you want. I just use these quite often. Now, over here on this wall, we need to dig a small hole that we can stick a door here. That way, what we can do is put some more things down. So, next thing we're going to add is a furnace. Now, this is where this wall is going to become. I'm going to be putting this, and it's actually not going to be a furnace. It's more or less going to be a fireplace that also doubles as a fireplace. So I got all the brick blocks I could need, got to work. So I started by scoping the shape out from the beginning. I used brick walls to make the corners, as while they didn't join very well, they looked pretty nice, and I would say they did turn out really. Now, I couldn't actually stick the chimney anywhere else, sadly. As with how this building was made, it was not ideal. Now, in the actual one I built in my world, it didn't actually have a chimney for some reason. I don't know why I didn't add any fire pits or anything, really. I just didn't bother. I was just like, I already built enough on this build. And then I just kind of like, just didn't bother. But with the chimney added, this becomes more of an actually, not something I threw together because I could. And also it screams Tagga. This was when I built this in the world I was playing in. We weren't in a snowy biome at all. We were in a really, we were in the desert of all places. That's why this build didn't originally have a chimney, but I did have a furnace in the exact same spot. Funny enough. So, yeah. The last things I was adding was the area for the smoke to actually come out. And we're going to do the same trick we did the last time when we put down fire. Put the hay, then the campfires at the top for the smoke. That way the smoke would rise super high and look really cool, actually. I honestly asked some people in my house what they thought of it, and they said they couldn't even tell when I up closer and then they saw it. They were like, oh. Now, this is not optional if you are in a normal world, but this is just something I like to do. Fire. Fire damage? No. No fire. But another thing I added, changed, is fire spread. I don't know how to turn off. For some reason, I don't know how to turn off the fire thing anymore because silly Mojang over here decided to change every setting to be their literal names. So now people like me do things like this, no longer know what anything is called. Not ideal when you're trying to make something and then you type a command that usually works and then it doesn't. Yeah. Dang. What are you doing? Please? Tell me, please. I need answers. Mojang? Mojang, I need answers. I don't get it anymore. There. I have a fire pit. If you're wondering about the outside, I think it looks pretty nice. It goes up just enough to say, yeah, that's a chimney. And not so much that it's like, huh? And the chimney off the side says, yeah, this is a Taga house. It's got Taga stuff. Now we're gonna use just normal glass for this. No colored shenanigans, because I don't want to deal with that. One thing I will do, however, because I think this looks really cool, is off the front, like this, on the sides of these houses. This is where the glass panes usually go, but I can't put too much over the side. So yeah, this is what the end result ends up looking like in the basement. Pretty cozy, actually. I agree. I ended up being into this corner. Instead of a normal lantern, I'm gonna be putting a soul lantern. That's a lot harder to get, but it matches the blue glow of bed I have. Now we're gonna head up. Oh yeah, if you're wondering, if you thought in the beginning I said there were gonna be animals here, got pranked. There were never gonna be any animals in here. This was literally just gonna become like a deck area under the base. Now upstairs we have some fun because, well, there's nothing really we can do up here because of the fact that we've already got pretty much everything inside those walls or right in front of me. So I'm going to be putting the crafting table not there. I am, however, what the heck? Okay, sorry. My monitor decided to just give up on me, so now I'm looking in OBS. This is terrible. I am going to be putting the 2 smokers. All? What the heck? Okay, I am actually now going full. I'm looking through the Minecraft window in OBS because Minecraft's starting to hate me. I think it's telling me I'm too much. Now, after the smoker, I did add a blast furnace in here. That way it would work nicer. And the last thing I added was this cool stone cutter I had, which I put in the corner here. And now it's time for the other stuff. Like above the furnaces, I added some chiseled bookshelves. This is so you can put all of your books and stuff inside. Now I quickly had to run over to the other room so I could fix what I've done. But after a quick fix, that was working fine. So there. That's about it. But you may be thinking, Bank, still an attic. Are you gonna use it? Yes. I'm gonna say bye-bye to that row of shelves. Instead, replace it with a ladder. This ladder is gonna take you right upstairs to what I preferably call the room that doesn't get talked about. Because of it's in the attic, so nobody goes up here. It's got 2 soul lanterns, so it's pretty creepy up here. It's got 2 windows. Solid glass blocks. That only show a slit. Not for actual reasons, just because when I built the house, I didn't actually intend for anybody out here. But you don't really need to see ahead when all you need to see is down. This also means this is a great hiding area. With the fact that I can basically just build the house however I want, I decided to put in the 4 corners of the room these trap doors, which blend in so nicely to the actual room. It's kind of funny, actually, because what I actually had to do in this is take some stairs and some trapdoors and build all across. Like the desk in the first room. Except this one was gonna have some stuff so that you can actually do some things. 1, crafting table. 2, a little weird, because we already have one downstairs. A loom. Next thing, an anvil. This was a actual request that I should add, because anvils would actually be handy. Okay. Sure. So I put an anvil, which makes a lot of noise, so that's why I didn't prefer it up here. And the last thing I added was kind of odd. Was some more barrels, actually. Along this back wall, I added 3 more barrels. As how this room was intended to be used was a little different to how it got used. Now, we actually have no normal furnaces, so this is where I hid them. Up here in the attic. Where they will get very nicely used. And then I also added a chest along top of the lube. Kidding. I put that chest in the corner right by the furnaces where I keep the coal. So I put some coal in there. Only 4 stacks of it because I don't have much. But now this becomes cool. As on the other side, I have the 1 smoker right there and the 3 bookcases. The 2 bookcases right on top. And I have a ladder there as well. It's decorative. It's not supposed to be anything important. And it's there even if nothing goes to it. Except on this side, where it's not even there. There aren't even there, because I was starting to get really no thanks, I'm good. Yeah, that's the whole base complete. And all in all, I think this is really cool. Hiding that room away from anyone knowing. I think this basement was my favorite part. But honestly, I love these little slit windows. Show somebody's watching some. But yeah, that was about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please sure to hit the like button down below if you really loved it. Make sure to subscribe. That's all from me guys today. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And see you all in the next one. Bye.